If only they knew why mirrors are not allowed in her hair salon. Before using a mirror, watch this. In the remote village of Isalu, nestled between ancient mountains and flowing rivers, lived a remarkable hairdresser named Kioni. Kioni was famous not only for her skill, but for her astonishing speed. Her small salon, made of mud bricks and roofed with palm thatch, was always bustling with customers, eager to have their hair transformed into intricate braids, twists and patterns in less than an hour. But there was a peculiar rule that everyone in the village had to follow when visiting Kioni's salon. No mirrors were allowed. This rule wasn't just a suggestion, it was enforced strictly. Kioni would check every customer's belongings at the entrance. "No reflective objects," she'd say, her voice stern but polite. She was kind, but there was an unspoken fear behind her eyes when she enforced this rule. No one questioned her, partly because Kioni's work was extraordinary and partly because they had grown used to her odd request. Until one day, a newcomer named Amani, who had never been to the village before, visited Kioni's salon. When Amani arrived, she found Kioni's salon bustling as usual, with women dressed in brightly coloured kanga fabrics, chatting and laughing as they awaited their turn. Amani handed over her belongings, but unknowingly kept a small compact mirror in her pocket. When she sat down to describe the hairstyle she wanted, she absent-mindedly pulled the mirror from her pocket. As soon as Kioni saw the mirror's reflection, she gasped in horror. "Who gave you permission to bring that here?" she screamed, her normally calm demeanour shattered. "You must leave now." Shocked and embarrassed, Amani apologised, threw the mirror outside, and was allowed to stay. But the atmosphere remained tense and uneasy. A few weeks after the incident with Amani, another curious visitor arrived at the village. Her name was Zara, a young woman from a neighbouring village known for her adventurous spirit. She had heard of Kioni's exceptional braiding skills and the strange rule that no mirrors were allowed in the salon. Zara, unlike the others, couldn't let her curiosity rest. Why would a hairdresser forbid mirrors? It made no sense to her. When Zara arrived, she was greeted with the same warm smiles and colourful bustle of village life. She entered Kioni's salon, where women dressed in vibrant African prints sat, chatting as they waited for their turn. Zara complied with the rules, handing over her bag and making sure not to bring anything reflective. But as Kioni began to braid her hair, Zara noticed something odd. As Kioni worked, Zara thought she heard faint whispers, barely audible but persistent, like voices murmuring secrets just out of earshot. She couldn't make out the words, but the whispers grew louder the longer Kioni braided her hair. Zara asked Kioni about it, but the hairdresser simply smiled and brushed off her question. "It's nothing, just the wind playing tricks," she said. But Zara's curiosity only deepened. There was something more happening here, something hidden beneath the surface. She could feel it in the way Kioni moved. Her hands were quick, almost unnaturally so. Zara left the salon with a beautiful hairstyle, but an unsettling feeling lingered. Determined to find out the truth, Zara sought the help of an old village elder, Mama Kazi, known for her spiritual wisdom. The next day, she visited Mama Kazi's hut, nestled on the outskirts of the village. The elder welcomed her, and Zara explained everything about the strange no-mirror rule and the eerie whispers. Mama Kazi listened carefully to Zara's story, nodding thoughtfully as she heard about the strange whispers and the no-mirror rule. "There is more to this than meets the eye," Mama Kazi said, her voice low and full of wisdom. She closed her eyes and began chanting in an ancient tongue, calling upon the spirits to reveal the truth. After a long silence, Mama Kazi opened her eyes, now filled with sorrow. "Kioni is under the influence of a spirit, a dark one. When she was a child, her mother made a terrible deal with the spirit to grant her speed and skill in braiding hair. In return, the spirit demands to touch the heads of as many women as possible. That is why Kioni forbids mirrors. If anyone sees the spirit reflected while she works, it will destroy her." Zara was horrified. "Can Keone be freed from the spirit's control?" she asked. Mama Kazi nodded. "It is possible, but it will require great courage and a special mirror, one that can trap the spirit." Mama Kazi handed Zara an old, ornate mirror with intricate carvings. "Take this. When the time is right, show it to Keone while she works. The mirror will reveal the spirit, and you must be ready to act." The next day, Zara returned to the salon, determined to free Keone from the spirit's grip. Keone greeted her warmly, unaware of what was about to unfold. As Keone began to braid Zara's hair, Zara reached for the enchanted mirror. She positioned it carefully, waiting for the moment when Keone would move close enough. Suddenly the room grew cold, and the faint whispers returned, louder this time. Zara caught a glimpse of the dark spirit in the mirror, its twisted form clinging to Keone's back. Zara turned the mirror toward Keone, and the reflection of the spirit screamed in fury. Keone gasped, her hands freezing mid-motion as she saw the spirit for the first time. "No!" the spirit shrieked, but Zara held the mirror steady. The room shook as the spirit fought to escape the mirror's pull, but Zara was resolute. In a flash of light, the spirit was sucked into the mirror, its terrifying form disappearing in an instant. Keone collapsed, exhausted but free at last. The salon fell silent, the tension lifted. Keone looked at Zara with tears in her eyes. "Thank you," she whispered. Zara smiled, relieved that the curse had been broken. From that day forward, Keone allowed mirrors in her salon, and her skill as a hairdresser only grew. She was no longer bound by the dark spirit, and her customers left not only with beautiful hairstyles, but also with a sense of peace.